Hello, everyone. Court orders INEC to deregister ADC. Hey, hey. Ovevekuve. Honestly, this whole politics, this whole Nigerian politics, where men are playing God, it shall not be sustained. Oh. We need to dismantle it and bring it down and bring politics of service, politics of those that are going to serve this nation, politics that it is about nation building and serving the nation, good governance, accountability, transparency, and not about people who feel they can show their power and whatever, and take over everything, all institutions and whatever. The Federal High Court in Abuja on Monday ordered the deregistration of the African Democratic Congress (ADC) and four others over the failure to meet the constitutional requirements for political parties in the country. Justice Peter Lifu, in a judgment, ordered the Nigerian National Electoral Commission (INEC) to deregister the affected parties having failed to secure 25% of the votes in the last general elections in compliance with the provision of the law. The News Agency of Nigeria (NAN) reports that the five political parties include ADC, Accord, Action Alliance, Action People's Party, and Zenith Labour Party. Justice Lifu, who earlier dismissed all the multiple preliminary objections filed by the defendants, ordered INEC not to allow the parties participate in the subsequent elections, including the 2027 general polls, having failed to meet the constitutional threshold. NAN reports that a group, the Incorporated Trustees of the National Forum of Former Legislators, had filed the suit marked FHC ABJCS 2637-2026 against the five political parties. The plaintiff, who also joined the Attorney General of the Federation (AGF) in the suit, named INEC as first defendant. The forum argued that the affected political parties failed to meet constitutional requirements relating to electoral spread and performance. It contended that political parties were required to secure at least 25% of votes in prescribed elections to remain relevant under the law. It therefore urged the court to order the deregistration of the parties, insisting that none of the defendants had effectively countered the arguments. Honestly, this is not even about ADC or the parties that are affected. This is about our nation. This is absolute nonsense. I don't understand. What is wrong with our judiciary? On what basis are you talking about, the 20-something percent, whatever, however, on what technicalities and whatever? With all the things that are going on, we are having major generals being killed. We are having generals being slaughtered by terrorists. We are having retired major generals being slaughtered by terrorists. Our country is on the brink. A lot of things are going on. Yet, all they see that is to be fighting opposition. The Attorney General, is it that he doesn't have work to do? Or he doesn't have terrorists to prosecute? Meanwhile, instead of even prosecuting the terrorists, they are repenting them, they are repenting, rehabilitating them, and taking them back into the society. How do we want to grow as a nation? Honestly, this whole politics of men playing God, it shall not be sustained. My fellow citizens, this is not even a matter of laughing or feeling that ADCs. No. Injustice to one must be injustice to all. Anybody that does anyhow, they need to be seen anyhow from the people. This silence, we are being enslaved again and again and again. And it's just going on just like that. We cannot continue in this manner. We must not continue in this manner. This is the time for us all to rise and speak on this issue. How do you come and say you've deregistered party? 7 months to election. 7 months to election. Oh no, but so all the people that are there, all the people that have done all they've planned, they've done, used money, do all manner of things. Now you just wake up and you say they should deregister them. Why didn't you deregister them immediately after the 2023 election? If you say they didn't meet spread then, why was that not something that was done immediately after? Why are we waiting till 7 months to election where people have used this vehicle? We are in a country where there is no independent candidacy. everybody has to come through a party. And then all of a sudden, we are seeing all of this. As far as I'm concerned, this is just absolute nonsense. The ADC has also fired back at them to say that this whole thing it is just out of the way. And what the ADC has also said, they say that they are playing with fire. Indeed, they are playing with fire. Oh. This is not something that we said, oh, because we are not in ADC, oh, it's good. No, no. Injustice to one must be injustice to all at all times. You are playing with fire. ADC wants Tinubu government, illegitimate government, by the way, rejects court order on the registration, vows to remain on ballot, whatever it takes. The party argued that the plaintiff had based their case on allegation that the ADC and four other political parties no longer satisfied constitutional requirements necessary for continued, registration. ADC described the ruling as grave threat to Nigeria's democracy and vying to exhaust all legal and constitutional options to ensure its continued participation in the 2027 general election. Honestly, this is a threat to Nigeria's democracy. We just finished democracy a few days ago and see the biggest threat is coming from the Nigerian judiciary. The opposition party also accused elements within the ruling establishment of attempting to use the judiciary to weaken political opposition, warning that efforts to remove legitimate parties from the political landscape could trigger a wider democratic crisis. In a statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, on Monday, June 15, 2026, the ADC said it was deeply alarmed by the judgment reportedly delivered by Justice Peter Lifu of the Federal High Court Abuja in a suit instituted by the National Forum of Former Legislators. According to the party, the judgment contradicts constitutional provision governing the registration and deregistration of political parties and disregards positions already taken by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the body constitutionally empowered to regulate political parties in Nigeria. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, wishes to warn in the strongest possible terms against any attempt to use the judiciary as an instrument to undermine democracy and plunge Nigeria into a major political crisis. The party argued that the plaintiffs had based their case on allegation that the ADC and four other political parties no longer satisfy constitutional requirements necessary for continued registration. However, it maintained that INEC had previously rejected such claims and had expressly informed the court that there was no legal basis for deregistering the party. Honestly, this is just absolute nonsense. And every Nigeria, we should speak against it and ensure that, the judiciary and the illegitimate government that we have in place do not get away with this attack on opposition. This is a real threat to our democracy, and it has to stop.